At some point, can you not make it easy for a lunatic to do? Oh my God, I don't want to talk about it because it's so overwhelmed. I can't imagine.
So when we set out to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package,
the words that came out of this dude's mouth is so funny. Dude, America is so insane. Hold up now. At a gun expo in Las Vegas last January, Eric Schmidt, the founder of WEE1 Tactical, demonstrated his company's first offering, the JR-15, a play on the popular assault rifle AR-15, designed to look like its deadly cousin, but 20% smaller. Long guns for kids have been around for years. Typically, shotguns or single-shot rifles scaled down for a child. But what has attracted so much attention to the JR-15? It's semi-automatic action, firing with each pull of the trigger, along with an image of putting a mini assault rifle in the hands of a child in the country where a 6-year-old just shot a teacher in the chest with a handgun legally purchased by his mother.
We're learning about a shooting at an elementary school in Newport News, Virginia. Police say a 6-year-old boy, a first grader, somehow got a hold of a gun and opened fire at his teacher, critically wounding her. ABC's senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky is here. Aaron, good morning to you. Police say this was not an accidental shooting.
We need to keep the guns out of the hands of our young people.
There's no school at Rich Neck Elementary on Monday while authorities figure out both how to prevent this and the
I think, like, first of all, America is such an insane country where, like, you hear the news media say things like, authorities are trying to figure out how to prevent a 6-year-old from having guns and shooting their teachers. Like, the moment that sentence leaves someone's mouth, you have to understand, like, this is a problem. This is a crisis, right? Bill Burr is talking about the Uvalde massacre. Let's hear what he has to say. He usually has some good takes on shit like this.
I'm going to be controversial on this one. I'm going to solve the gun problem in the United States of America right now. Why don't you just do it like a pilot's license? You know what I mean? Like when you get a gun, like when you get like a pilot's license, you know, you're flying Cessnas or whatever. You can't just go fly an American Airlines jet. You got to work your way up. You got to get rated. You know, I don't think if you get like a gun license, I think the first thing you should get, regardless of your age.
Bill and I completely agree on this. Don't have an issue with guns, but do have an issue with the lack of regulation.
Is you get a little 6-shooter. That's all they give you. Or maybe one of those little Saturday night specials. That's
okay. Don't agree with that. He's just joking right there. That's why he laughed right after that.
That's all the you get, right? And then as you work your way up to more and more powerful guns that could potentially do way more damn.
Bro, this is literally verbatim what I say, except for the fact that handguns should be at the top of that list. Ironic that he said this, but I think it's because he doesn't understand. But no, you should be able to get a 22 and then work your way up, like a bolt action rifle, and then level up to handguns. Handguns being at the top because it's the hardest one to shoot, and it's also the easiest one to conceal.
You have to pass major psychological evaluation. And if you do, the world is your oyster, and you can have whatever weapon you want.
Our handgun's hard to shoot. Well, let me tell you, if you've ever shot a gun, you know it is significantly easier to shoot a rifle. It's kind of the point. The shorter the barrel, the harder it is to shoot.
How about that? Does that work out for everybody? I wasn't saying take guns away. I wasn't saying this. I wasn't saying that. I wasn't talking about gender neutral Glocks. Just saying, you know, lunatics. At some point, can you not make it easy for a lunatic to do? Oh my God, I don't want to talk about it because it's so overwhelmed. I can't imagine all of those people what they
like. I don't think you should be able to immediately purchase a firearm. I think that if you want to be able to purchase a firearm, you should be able, like, you can't get a passport without, you know, sucking the government for like 7 months, you know what I mean? Depending on like how quickly you can expedite it. But like when you want a gun, you can immediately get it. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. You should 100% have to go through a sequence of safety and training and demonstrate your competence with the weapon and be able to, and eventually be able to level up to guns that are easier to conceal and harder to shoot. Like it's wild. It's easier to become it's harder to become a barber than it is to become a cop. It's harder to become a barber than it is to shoot a gun, you know? It's crazy.
I don't know. There's people still, I don't know. And I think the left is stupid because then they start yelling at people on the right. Not saying everybody on the right has a gun. Not saying everybody on the left doesn't like guns. I'm just saying like that this thing where you just start yelling at the other side. How about you just go, hey, what if we do this? What if we, try to weed out the bad apples by doing this? As long as you're not, as long as you're not crazy, we'll give you a bazooka, right? And you can take it outside of your backyard and go shoot at something. I don't give a someone would have a problem with that. Oh, that's a way to control people. Anyway.
Never forget that this conversation isn't actually about the constitutionally protected God-given rights or anything like that. This conversation isn't actually about, like, you know, standing up to tyranny with your weapon. This conversation exclusively is around inconveniencing people who want to suck their guns. They're gun perverts. They want to their guns, they want to suck their guns, and they want to be able to buy as many guns as possible and as many rounds of ammo as possible. They can fantasize about like how this commodity that they're consuming is actually allowing them to stand up to a tyrannical government. They can fantasize about how this is going to, you know, make them sicker and sexier and cooler. They can fantasize about all that shit, but ultimately it's just about inconveniencing them, and they would rather have more babies murdered in schools than be inconvenienced when they're purchasing their 11th rifle, okay? That's it.
This is the JR-15. So what we have here is a scaled down AR-15 in polymer. It also weighs 2.2 pounds, and it's about a 20%.
Bro, this literally is like, if you want to do a mass shooting at your kindergarten, this is what you can use. Like, this is literally, I mean, I'm sorry, bro. This has got to be jailable, dog. You have a bib. What is happening? This is kindergartens. Like, motherfucker saw kindergartens. It was like, why aren't we in that market, actually? Like, how do we get these toddlers to stop shooting teachers is an insane statement to ever ponder, to ever consider, to ever think about. And that there's not really much you can do about it either. Unless our goal is to, of course, you know, arm all the 6th graders, because honestly, the only thing to stop a bad kid with a gun is, I hate to say it, a good kid with a gun.
There is big problem of shootings in schools. The NRA want to arm the teachers. This is crazy. They should be arming the children. Yalla, let's go.
So I met with lobbyist Larry Pratt, director of Gun Owners of America, which have 1.5 million brave members.
The evil's in our hearts, not in the guns.
Do you think the liberals are using these school shootings to further their anti-tragedy agenda?
They're trying, but it's not that hard to find a student who does think that way, because that's what they're being taught in the schools.
We actually found out that in schools, it's not only important to arm the teachers, it's important to arm certain gifted children.
Oh, that's great.
We train from 16-year-old up to 4 years old.
This guy literally thinks this is real, by the way. He's not joking. He's not in on the joke.
The only thing that stops a bad man with a gun is a good boy with a gun.
Yeah, even a good toddler.
Exactly, a toddler.
That guy's literally like, that's an actual person. Like, that is a real lobbyist. You know what I mean?
Where I sat down with a House representative and outlined my common sense proposal.
Oh, you want me to say on television that I support 3- and 4-year-olds with firearms? Is that what you're asking me to do?
Yes, you can do.
Typically, members of Congress don't just hear a story about a program and then indicate whether they support it or not.
I support the kindergartens program. We in America.
The problem is Matt Gaetz doesn't want children to be armed, okay? And I think we know for what reason, okay? An armed child is a child that is harder to apprehend, okay? So Matt Gaetz immediately, he was like, wait a minute, you want to give guns to children? No, we're not doing that. Now, of course, if you were to advocate for legislation to lower the age of consent laws, Matt Gaetz probably allegedly would be on board with that.
Toddlers are pure, uncorrupted by fake news or homosexuality. They don't worry if it's politically correct to shoot a mentally deranged gunman. They'll just do it. The science behind this program is proven. At age 4, a child processes images 80% faster than an adult, meaning that essentially, like owls, they can see in slow motion. Children under 5 also have elevated levels of the pheromone Blink-182, produced by the part of the liver known as the Rita Ora. This allows nerve reflexes to travel along the Cardi B neural pathway to the Wiz Khalifa 40% faster, saving time and saving lives.
You can get a lobbyist and a former congressperson to or if current congressperson to say anything, as long as you the right doors are open in front of you, okay? They will say whatever the fuck. How do you not catch on to that? Come on, man. That guy's like 800 years old. He doesn't know what the Rita Ora is.
So it fits the kids really well, and that'll give them confidence to hold this thing the way they should have confidence holding. No drop down in the front trying to manage a weight that's not right for them. It's also just great. It just fits them. It fits them really well.
Yeah, and that's I've got kids, and so they're now 8 and 10. right? And so they both started shooting age 3-ish. I think one of them was just under 3, one of them just over 3.
Wait, what? 3? What? Bro, these people are like, yo, them trans folk are grooming our children, brother. Meanwhile, like, this guy is literally, what is he doing? Like, what the
3, one of them just over 3, but they've been shooting for as long as I could have guns around, right?
That's awesome, Barrett.
And it's because, you know, they have the interest. They started asking the questions, and I'm a huge believer in we got to provide the education. Got to teach them about the dangers and the risks, but we
So like, my teenager can't know what gender they are, but they certainly knew at the age of 3 that they wanted to shoot a gun. Yeah, that's a red flag, dog. That means that, like, you have too many guns around them. You definitely shouldn't have a 3-year-old be like, can I shoot that gun, daddy? I mean, the reality is a lot of these guys who do this kind of thing end up getting shot in the head by their kids who don't know any better because they're 3. You know, you create this weird gun culture, you're gonna get shot straight up. That's what's gonna end up happening to you. So have fun with that, you know? Have fun eating everything out of a straw because your child shot you in the head.
You also have to educate them and take away that curiosity. But one of the biggest challenges is guns aren't made, you know, for a 5-year-old to be able to shoot. They're made for adults typically. And so when I came by and saw this yesterday, it excites me. And so this is a 22 long rifle. It is super light. So
he's not trolling. He's not, chat. He is not trolling. He's not trolling. This is how gun nuts are.
2 pounds.
2.2 pounds.
So 2.2 pounds, you know, add a red dot optic or something like that to it, you're adding a few more ounces. Tell us a little bit about that. What is different about it?
Sure. So when we set out to have, to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package, we were pretty sure we needed to have a wow factor in the safety area.
The words that came out of this dude's mouth is so funny. Dude, America is so insane. Like, this man just said when we were designing an AR for a small child. Brother, I gotta run it back. Hold on. I mean, come on now.
When we set out to have, to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package,
when we set out to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package,
we were pretty sure we needed to have a wow factor in the safety area, right? So what happened?
It just doesn't make any sense to me why anyone will be like, no, like a small child should be able to also experience the wonderful joys of shooting a AR-15. Is this a bit? None of this is a bit. Please understand, it's not a bit. It's America. It's not a bit. Totally reasonable for you to think it is. It's just America. This is the reasonable, logical conclusion of having the Second Amendment and your personal understanding of the Second Amendment.
The way to stop a bad guy with a gun
is a good kid with a gun.
A good kid with a gun.
A good child with a gun. Happy shooting, kids.
There's no other way to stop bad 6-year-olds with a gun from shooting teachers unless we arm the good 6-year-olds with guns as well, and therefore allowing them to successfully apprehend Fortnite Battle Bus style. That's cool, man. I love this. The JR-15 is real. I thought it was a joke. America never ceases to surprise me.